Do I think they're going to be able to deport 12 to 20, 25 million migrants, illegals? No. Now they say they can. But like I said, the only way we really gonna know is from like on the ground accounts of people in these neighborhoods saying, "Hey, they came through here with the National Guard, rounded up all of these migrants and sent them back over there." But do I think that they're gonna be able to round up 12 million people? I just don't. I don't see it. They maybe can. We gonna see. We're gonna wait and see. Do I think these people was over here by design? I do. Do I think both parties had something to do with it? Somewhat. But we'll see. Like I said, they even talk about how Trump even told them not to pass one of the immigration bills because he didn't like all the stuff that was in the bills. Now, was that intentional because it was a bad bill?
If you vote,
Or was it because he really wanted migrants in here and he wanted something to run on and to campaign on? Who knows? Like I said, all this stuff, we just gotta wait and see because we the small guys. We the people that gotta wait and see if we're gonna take any blowback from the decisions that a very few amount of people make for the vast majority of us.
Like the cartels, they're like a Fortune 500 company. The Sinaloa cartels, they're in over 40 countries on the globe. Not only are they smuggling record amount of narcotics in the United States, they are now in every major city of the United States, taking over the distribution within the United States. And at the RNC, during my speech at the RNC, I echoed what President Trump has told me, that he will designate them terrorist organizations because they have killed more. The criminal cartels of Mexico have killed more Americans than every terrorist organization in the world combined.
Did y'all hear that? The cartel has killed more combined than any criminal organization combined. That is crazy. That is crazy. Like when I just think about this, I just always think about like the Pablo Escobar movie that they had, the what is it called? Yeah, the Pablo Escobar movie. I can't think of the name that was on Netflix, and they was doing all that killing in there. And it was crazy because I was just thinking about the 80s, and they was talking about like how, like I think Philadelphia might have had like 1,900 murders that one year. New York had like 2,200 murders in the 80s. It's like we think crime is bad now, but back in the 80s and the early 90s, it was real bad. You know, drugs were real bad, guns was getting imported into America. So when he talk about this, I agree. It need to be some tightening up of the border, but I don't know if they're gonna be able to do it. What y'all think? Y'all think they're gonna be able to deport that many people?
9/11 times that by 100. Right. So President Trump says he's going to designate a terrorist organization and wipe them off the face of the earth because Mexico's not going to do it. Mexico's been dealing with this for 30 years. And I hate to say it, but it's just a fact. Much of the Mexican military, much of the Mexican government, they're corrupt.
I think they corrupt. And I think America pays them to be corrupt. I think they work hand and foot. I think when it comes to drugs, just even like us going to Iraq, I heard a lot of soldiers talking about the poppy seeds over there in Iraq and heroin and stuff like that. So even though we're supposed to be going over there for terrorist attacks on the U.S. soil and trying to help people and liberate people, we over there ravishing their natural resources to make drugs. And we all know that the government work with the cartels very closely. That's how they are able to operate in America the way they do, because if they wanted to put an end to it, we got the biggest gun in the world and we don't use it. Just think about that. We got the biggest gun in the world and we don't use it. And I'm not talking about nuclear weapons. I'm talking about our military.
We know that. That's why even when I was ICE director, I vetted units, and we bet these guys ourselves that we work with down there. We didn't even tell them everything. Not every cop and soldiers is corrupt. I'm not saying that. I'm sure there's soldiers and police officers down there doing it for the right reason, but there's a lot of corruption there. And the cartels, if you're a police officer and
it's bad when we got to the point where we have to give a disclaimer for our statements and people should know what we're talking about. Like when he said it's bad, people, well, not everybody, we got to do not everybody, it's certain, people, it was a time in life people deciphered and understood that you weren't talking about everybody. Well, I grew up on this saying, if it don't apply, let it fly. If it don't apply, let it fly. So I understood when I seen stuff that I seen a chick talking about, well, black men do this, and I just keep strolling because I know what she's talking about. I'm not one of those black men that do it. But if I put black women, then it's a girl that's gonna jump in my comment section, or on my post talking about, well, you can't be talking about black women. What you will do? I don't do it, but I just don't like you talk. Well, why are you here defending other black women if you don't do it? If it don't apply, let it fly. But now we have to always give disclaimers or preference our statements before we give them now because people are so fucking sensitive.
Making, $36 a week, and the cartel comes and gives you $100,000 to let something happen, they're going to take it. I mean, many of them will. So it's going to take U.S. Special Operations, U.S. Intelligence to track these guys down, follow the money, and just same thing President Trump did to ISIS and the Caliphate. He can do it. He did that terrorist organization. He can do it to the criminal cartels, but it's going to take the United States lead to get it done. But
Now, like I said, my conspiracy theory is I think both sides might have had something to do with immigration. Like I said, we know that Trump said don't pass the border bill, but also he had a lot of stuff that was already on the books that they executive order that Biden went in first day and overturned, like stay in Mexico. So, like I said, I don't know. We got to wait and see. I'm not privy to any of the information that goes on in the White House. I'm out here sitting and watching and observing like everybody else. Hopefully, we have good people that's about to come in to the next administration. Hopefully, they are for the people. Hopefully, Trump does a lot of stuff he said, like no taxing on overtime. In Alabama right now, they don't tax out overtime in Alabama, but I think it's supposed to end at the end of the year, beginning of next year. So I understand like no taxing on tips. It's a lot of stuff he said that he was gonna do. In and all the trans stuff. He need to end all of that. There's a lot of stuff he said he gonna come in and put an end to that I hope he does so we can get back to regular schedule program and actually make money. A lot of stuff that he's trying to put back to the states, to me, it looks like he's trying to get rid of the tax from the federal government. I don't know if he's gonna be able to pull it off, but when he keeps saying he's gonna push everything to the state, abortion, now in the Department of Education, back to the state, it just looked like he's trying to get rid of the Fed. And when he talks about tariffs and said that tariffs can make us so much money tariffing all of these countries to where we don't even need to tax the federal government. Like the federal government doesn't need our tax. Also making the IRS smaller. Like it's a lot of stuff that the government does over here to extort its people. And the government been extorting it. They treat the government ain't nothing but the fucking mob. It is scary that we supposed to be in the best country in the world. That's what they keep telling us and selling us. But we send billions of dollars to Ukraine to help people fight wars that can't even help us if we really got into a war. Just think about that. You're trying to build a team of people and you trade for somebody that really can't help you win. They're gonna sit on the end of the bench. If we got into a war right now, what help is Ukraine gonna give us? That's a real what help is Ukraine gonna give us? None whatsoever. So when we have these conversations, they got to be real conversations. Now, I'm a person that believes in not even worried about what's going on outside of the borders of the United States. That's how I feel. That's what I believe because we have so much stuff in America that needs to be fixed first. But I know we're supposed to be a global power where we want to take up this mantle as being the country with the biggest dick. So we have to use it from time to time because people want to see that if we still got what it takes or if we got low T or whatnot. But I think now we see a lot of people understanding that now that we changing presidents, like Hamas saying they doing a ceasefire over there, the stock market booming again. Like this is a person that coming in there and got some power, but a lot of people like to say, well, under Democratic leadership, the economy does better. No, it don't, because this lady was talking about corporate taxing. And we already know if you corporate tax, that's just going to trickle down to the everyday man or woman. But like I said, when it comes to all of this immigration stuff, I just don't know how we got to the point where America just allowed people just to walk in here like this and pay them. And you know what baffled me about immigration and the main people that should have been upset? I would think black women would be the main people upset because how they be trying to be like they welfare queens and want to stay in the hood and live off the government, and you find out somebody get $9,000. You mean to tell me you ain't upset? You mean to tell me you don't want to ride? You mean to tell me you don't want to break nothing? Because that's how I would look at it. Now we got to be real. There's a lot of people in America that's slow. Americans are slow. Like I said, they keep selling us this bad bill of good, but it's got to be better. And like I said, I hope for the sake of Americans, for the sake of us, that it gets better. Y'all make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all share the video. Make sure you subscribe to all of my social media platforms. I'm on everything, and on Instagram, it's New Normal Pod 20. New Normal Pod 20. So the next thing we're gonna talk about is this right here. Now I don't know if y'all seen this, but the Venezuelans have entered Tennessee, and they're having gang wars in Tennessee. It's crazy that they brought their gang turf wars to America. How do we ever become this place that we're living in now?
The DBI says not only is the dangerous gang growing nationwide, but it's impacting every major city across Tennessee.
They have a pathway to more violence.
The DBI director, David Roush, warning Governor Bill Lee in a budget hearing Tuesday about the rising threat of a violent criminal group, Tren de Aragua.
They're back in all of our major cities. They are running human trafficking operations.
Roush says the Venezuelan gang does not
see that? That's a policeman they beating up.
Not hesitate to attack their opponents in public.
Recently, there was a video that they shot where they shot an individual, a cartel member, 31 times.
31 times. That is insane.
Broad daylight on video and posted it to social media.
Roush.
And this is a question I got to ask. What they getting cell phones from? Y'all supposed to be poor. Y'all supposed to be poor. Y'all coming up for a better life. Is that an Obama phone? We need to get rid of that too. If they got an Obama phone, get rid of the Obama phone too, because now we're giving them to migrants. Now get rid of that shit too.
Says they'll next engage in more retail theft before taking on the drug trade. These concerns we took to Governor Bill Lee.
What measures are being implemented to protect communities across Tennessee?
Well, first of all, I think that part of the reason President Trump was elected last week is because people in this country are tired of gang members from Venezuela, for example, coming across our border. And that policy change that will occur in the next few months.
So at the federal level, we know there could be changes. At the state level, are we doing anything in the meantime to tackle these issues?
Well, I think that's what that funding request hearing was about. They made requests for resources and personnel to attack particular crime issues in our state, and we'll review those budgets.
Congressman Andy Ogle says this is an issue he's been looking at very closely.
Every small town in America is a border town because of the immigration crisis.
Congressman Ogle says he's also been in contact with President-elect Donald Trump.
Hey, for a second, I knew where you got that from.
On the issue.
We will begin deporting individuals who are here. Of course, you've got to prioritize, but those who are here with violent intent.
Look at them taking over neighborhoods and apartment complexes. Where the hell y'all get these big ass guns? Like you, this is what you got to ask yourself. How do y'all come over here and meet somebody this quick to just sell y'all guns, take guns? Like they definitely had to be giving them guns after they cross the border. This is just my conspiracy theory. I think they're giving them guns, cell phones, backpacks, all of this stuff soon as they cross the border so they can feel confident and wreak havoc to do this. After you done tricked hundreds of miles to come here, we're going to give you some food stamps. We're going to let you get your energy up. So we're going to give you a place to stay. You're going to be able to stay in this nice hotel in New York. Because I don't know if y'all knew this, but I think it was the Dodgers that went to play the Mets or the Yankees, and they had to go stay in a basic hotel because all of the upscale hotels was renting their rooms out to the migrants. So they had the baseball team, the people that's from America that play in America could not get good hotel rooms because all of the migrants occupied them in New York City. So now that you done got your health up and your strength back up, now I'm gonna give y'all some guns and y'all can go take over these apartment complexes. This is crazy that we are seeing this in real time. This is kind of looking like the Purge. If y'all think about it, if y'all watch the Purge, a lot of the stuff with these Venezuelan gangs and letting people in here just running and doing, attacking police, killings, and all of this looks like the Purge. Child sex trafficking and human trafficking. I did not know people was human trafficking as much as they is. Like, I don't know what kind of weirdo shit going on. I don't know if it's a lucrative business. I don't know if they're organ harvesting. I don't know if they drinking the endocrine like they tried to say about Pizzagate and all that. It is a lot of people and kids going missing, like they talk about at the border. A lot of these kids getting separated, or they were saying that these men were bringing these children over. It would be like grown men with like little kids or little girls, but they not related. And they were, and the Biden administration, you have to look this up, was pushing against DNA testing the father and the kid to make sure these people were related. Like the Biden administration pushed against a lot of stuff. They even pushed against Texas defending their borders. Y'all remember they sued Texas to keep their borders open. Like, why would you do that? So like I said, it's a big play. I don't know what they got going on. I don't know if they're going to be able to deport 12 to like 20-some million migrants or illegals, but this shit is crazy and it has to stop. Like, I hope y'all out there being prayed up. I hope y'all got y'all guns, especially if you stay in a state that allow you to keep your gun. You better make sure you keep that thing on you at all times.